So thank you, Geraldine, and thanks to the Women's Forum for inviting me to this session. And I'm really stunned by the participants in this room, because even though this forum is called Women's Forum, but we have a lot of men interested in these issues.
This is why we changed the name of the title of the forum.
Thank you very much. And before I would like to start to my presentations, I have 3 questions. I would like to do a diversity check. If we are really diverse in this room, I would like to see hands up for a person under age of 30. Be frank to yourself. I will not prove. Between 30 and 45, that's some. And 45 to 60, quite some. And more than the age of 60. Don't be shy if you are old, you are really wise and you have a wisdom. Thank you.
Go up. Over 70 and over 80. Two of us.
Thank you. I see already that probably I have a very good opportunity here, maybe to inspire you and to really convince at the end of my presentations how that we could live diversities. That's why I selected my statement in these presentations that don't talk, live it. Because if we don't live that, it will never come true. The next diversity check is the gender. So I see already we have some men, we have some women here. I would like to ask someone explicitly if they are not made sure yet, if what kind of gender they are liking to be, but it doesn't matter. Because everyone is diverse and everyone could select what they would like to be. The third diversity check is that the continent. I see some of, from your appearance already that you are not from the same continent. So now I would like to have the vote. Who is from Australia, New Zealand, and in that continent direction? So we have 3 of them, 4. Thank you. Asian is a big continent. I'm from Asian as well. So that's great. And from America, Northern America? Yeah, quite some as well. That's great. Southern America? Oh, we have one. That's great.
Venezuela.
From Africa, we have some. And last but not least, Europe. That's great. I put my hands up twice because I don't feel that I'm either Asian or I'm either European, because I'm both. I could choose where I would like to be. And that's why I say I'm European and I'm also Asian. That's great. Thank you for working with me on that. I'm showing you these pictures because I would like to show the varieties of natures that we already have. We already live with that. And I don't know if you ever heard about that. In this world, we even have more than 40,000 varieties of rice that we probably never know that this exists. So it is very stunning when I make some research for this talk, and I trying to see, okay, what kind of diversity, what diversifications that we have already in our nature, in our environment, and that's a lot. There's a lot of diversity. If you look around your neighbor here in this room, everyone looks different. Everyone looks individuals, and you have your uniqueness in yourself. And that's great, so, because otherwise everything would be so boring that everyone is looking in the same way, everyone is looking alike, and I don't mind by the twins, but the twins, you could even be different. When I searched for this talk, I found out a lot of companies are talking and already launching and even implementing a program called Diversities and Inclusions. And these are some names of the companies that I've seen that they are listed as the most diverse and the most inclusive companies in the world from the Diversity Incorporation magazines. And you could see that it's across industry that the issues is really in the talk of the town. And you could see from the film corporation, for example, Walt Disney has set up such a program, Coca-Cola did that, Microsoft as an IT company, Volkswagen as an automotive company, Novartis as a pharmaceuticals company, and even universities. We already heard from Carolina already that we care about diversities and inclusions. But why is this not really going so fast as we like? Probably there is some reason for that. And with my talk, I would really like to inspire you to starting from ourselves, to starting from yourself. You is the one who could really start living that by your own, and encourage all of the people around you to do the same. So I have only 3 steps to tell you how I live diversities, because I'm so lucky. I've born in Thailand. I've lived in a very diverse generations family house, and my relatives are also from different I would say we are so different that even though we are grown in one house, everyone has different passions, everyone has different disciplines that they love, and even everyone like to speak different languages. And that's already see that if we are already set up our surrounding, our environment to be in such a surrounding, we could really create some other differences, some other creativities, and it's a process. It's not just there. You need to go through those processes and to do it. And I have 3 steps for you. First, understand what diversities is. Most of the time, once that we are talking about diversities, we are talking about the age, genders, languages, races, because of the appearance that you already seen. But this is the visible diversities that is called at the top of the iceberg. This iceberg model is not from me, it's from Mr. Hugh Molotzi, and he is talking about the visible diversity and invisible diversities. And the potentials of the diversity is actually under the water of the icebergs. And because we would need to know about the physical abilities of each person, because everyone is good at different things. Otherwise, probably everyone would win the Olympics, or everyone would be a CEO, or everyone would like to sweep the road. Oh, sorry. And that's why the diversity is there according to the life experience, according to the thought perspective. And this is good so, because then when you exchange the idea, exchange the values, exchange about the religions, you have issues to talk and to exchange, to really enhance up your mind, how you would improve or even bring you up in the capability of a smart thinking. I see that here probably someone say why age is invisible diversities, because someone look younger than they are. And that's why probably it is under the iceberg, and the other is some other ways around. So, and we have to accept that. The second step is that do not label others with stereotype. Because when we are seeing someone from their appearance, or we are knowing, okay, they are from which country or which continent. So because there's lots of a long history, of a long culture, that maybe you will put them into a corset in how the people perceive one nationalities to be. And that's really common in everywhere, otherwise we will not have such cartoons. Especially because I work very much in European Union, and when I go to Brussels and have a meeting with the peoples from 28 member states, and everyone is joking about each other, and because sometimes they already put people into stereotype, and if the people say, okay, you come from Italy or you come from Spain, maybe you never submit work on time, which is not true. I also have colleagues from Spain, which is not mañana, but they also deliver their work punctually. So don't put them in a corset where you already stamp them with some of the characteristics, because it's so important that you open up your mind yourself, that you say, okay, let's take time to learn that person, to learn really how he is, what kind of a capability he has or she has, and try to figure out how you could work best with them. And that's the issues that I really figure out. It works for me. Why it would not work for you? And that's probably the key, that you shouldn't label anyone with the stereotype. The last step, and not the least step because it's difficult. Encourage diversities. Encourage diversity around yourself. When you start from your own and you live that, and you trying to explain or trying to tell your story, your experience with your colleagues and with your family. With my partner, for example, I exchanged with him a lot what I confronted in my workplace about the diversity issue, because I'm Asian, living in Hamburg, working internationally, and I confronted with different situations that probably I learn every day how to work with people from different backgrounds and different disciplines, and especially it's very important for my job to have innovations and the process managed across the company, which is very diverse like HPA. So it is very important. Encourage diversity in your surroundings. Because diversity, it doesn't matter that it's already there. You don't need to seek it. It is really an asset that the nature gives it to you, and you have to just to live it, to bring awareness to the people around you. And I was really shocking that when I see like the panels, discussion over there, and all the rate so far is occupied all by men, but luckily different ages. So it is the things that probably we need to think about how we could design such a process together. And it's probably not by accident that the diversity, someone has also put an acronym for diversity, which is different individuals valuing each other regardless of skin, intellect, talent, or years. And I think it's true. We have to look in that way so that we could live the diversities. So the last example I would like to give to you is that, because actually I have a lot of IKEA furniture in my house, and because it's practical and it's not so expensive, and sometimes I'm very frustrating building up those furnitures, and then my husband came and said, "Oh, look, how this is, probably you could try this one," and I've been trying for already an hour. And that's already how you live the diversity with your partner, and you don't need probably to call an IKEA service for building up your furniture. And IKEA has already done as a business model, because they say, oh, if for a single household, maybe it's worthwhile when the woman is building furniture on their own, they probably never make it. And that's why they launched this campaign and sell the services for building up the furniture at your home. So the diversity is really in our DNA. It's already in our blood, I would say. That's why it is not really by accident that we have the great diversity on Earth, because we all need them to live. It's not by accident that individual thinks and perceive differently, because it enhances societal environment. And it's not by accident that we love varieties. Otherwise, a woman will not have 2 or 3 handbags in the same color as I do, because it's pleasant to have them. So the diversity is already part of ourselves. It's in our DNA. Unlock your diversity capability, and you will see that's the new dimensions of your thought out there. Thank you.